2, 1. Romy in the house.
What
up, dude?
Hey.
It's been way too long, dude.
It's been a long time.
But you have been busy. Like you're like a gypsy DJ lifeguard, dude?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I just moved into my van, a Sprinter van. It's a 2005 Dodge Sprinter.
And that's where you live right now?
Yeah, full time
That's
out of
so
my vehicle.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's okay. So let's run this back for anybody who doesn't know Romy, which is probably most people because you're not living in my life. I went to school with Romy for how long did we go to school for? You were my buddy.
A couple of years.
Yeah.
I was only there for a couple of years.
You were there. Okay. I graduated in 4, and I want to say that you were there for a year and a half, maybe?
Yeah, about a year and a half.
Yeah. And then you took your talents elsewhere,
Mm-hmm.
which was a call on your part. I'm not mad that I finished school. I definitely fucked with your like why you left school, because I think that it wasn't serving you any purpose being there, and I think that you were meant for bigger things than 4 years of college. What do you think?
Yeah, you know what's funny is Keeley, one of our teachers.
Yeah, Jack
Keeley told me that his exact words. He was I was showing him some designs, and he was impressed, and he's like, I don't know if you know what you're doing, but you're doing something really great here. This might not be the program for you.
Really? And what were you showing him?
Just some just lettering, just
really?
hand style fonts.
Yeah,
that's it. We were just hand styling fonts,
like hand generated typography type.
Exactly. And so I was just getting really stylistic with it, and he's like, you definitely have like a look and a feel, but you don't know that you're doing it.
Yeah,
you got to work on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I didn't know how to take that, and I'm like, okay, because here I am. In my 20s, I'm like, okay, I gotta go to school. I gotta get the piece of paper that says I know how to do something. For sure.
And so then, how old were you when you started school?
Whoa,
because you're older than me.
I'm 32. When I was there, I think I was like 26.
For sure. Okay. And then you bailed when you were 27, 28.
Yeah,
for sure.
And yeah, that price tag, dude, for
it's gnarly.
Institute.
It's
ridiculous.
I'm just in the middle of refinancing my shit because it's
how
just
much you have left?
It's just too. Oh, like no, I don't mind. It's like 38 or something crazy. But that's just me, dude. I have homies. So as the program developed, you become like best friends with all 20 kids in the program. You know, because it's all blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
And it's the first time, like, I don't know, for me, and I found, like, my friends going through the same thing in the program. Like, this art school was the first time, like, any of us gave a shit about school, you know? So it was, like, a beautiful thing to see us all at the end. And for me, especially, it was, like, the first time, like, in my life that, like, I wasn't like, yo, the school system's stupid. Like, I don't know. It was so boring to me. It seemed so backwards, like, I knew I was in high school. I knew that I was artistically inclined. I was in bands. I had all these interests, and I would work into the late hours of the night working on my music and stuff. But when it came to social studies and shit, I couldn't give a shit. But I didn't understand why I couldn't just like be the best musician I could be, you know? And it was frustrating. But then at the end of art school, everybody kind of the graphic design program tended to be like kind of misfit kind of thing, because you're not like the gamer kids and you're not the fashion kids. You're like this small
video guys.
Yeah, you're like this small sect of people who have an interest in eye appeal, you know. And it's kind of this small sect of students. And when we were all graduating, it felt like we finally made a name for ourselves. So I've been lucky enough to be in touch with all of those people, some of them my really great friends still to this day. Good. But Austin, one of my buddies,
dude, Austin's amazing.
Oh, you know Austin?
I know Austin.
Okay, not Austin Belial, Austin Tyler from the Valley.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know. Okay. Yes. So Austin Tyler I was lucky enough to have my dad help me with school. That was part of the deal when I was a kid. He was like, if you go to school, I'll pay for half of it. And he told me that back when he caught me smoking weed in like forever ago. That was one of his things, like his safety net of being a dad. And so that was the deal. So my situation sucks, but it's fucking epic compared to some situations. Austin Tyler, on the other hand, needed all the help he could get to pay for school. and like he is in crippling debt. Like I can't drop a number but to the point where he's like digging through lawsuits to see if
Oh
there's like
no,
holes in the thing, and
that's a
that
terrible place to be in.
yeah, and that sucks because what graphic design is my interpretation of the degree itself, now that it's all said and done, is the ability to not only transcend, like give you the tools to be able to transcend yourself artistically, but to be able to depict whatever emotions or ideas we have as designers. For example,
Sure, yeah.
like the podcast, like that layout and shit. What my graphic design degree is shaping out to be is not so much the ability to like be able to make quote unquote art. By the way, that piece is yours. Put that up in the fucking van.
This is
Yeah.
dude, thank you.
Yeah, I print out a piece for my guest every month.
Oh
I
my
do a
gosh.
different pieces. But what
This is beautiful.
Thank you, brother. What graphic design did for me is it gave me the tools. Oh yeah, you showed on the Instagram. It gave me the tools to be able to pursue like something like a podcast and figure out how to fucking do what I need to do. So in terms of utilizing the degree, it's been great because there's not really, at the end of the day, we're still artists and it's hard to fit us into like a corporate, thing, because what we really want to do is just make things. That's
Yeah.
why we ended up, that's why you make music and you make your own flyers and that's what the graphic design degree is about. It's not about going to a 9 to 5 and sitting there in a suit and a tie and trying to figure out why you're working at the same level with people who do like spreadsheets and shit. No disrespect, but why we got into this is because we don't want to do that. We have ideas. We have our own ideas, and the majority of us got involved with graphic design so that we could bring these ideas to fruition,
For sure.
So,
Yeah, I feel like at the beginning we all struggled with that translation from brain to, and I guess in our case to paper, to pen and pad,
to whatever it be. Yeah.
whatever the
Medium. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, yeah, once I saw that price tag, I was like, I got to get out.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be in that much debt.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, what if I had $100,000 to invest in something? Would it be my education? Would it?
That's a smart call.
I don't know. But yeah, I still got some left of the debt, slowly paying it off, always doing repayment plans because
Yeah.
just I don't want to pay it. I'm
But
like, God.
you're doing some cool shit though, man, cuz like you're at a point where you just said that you're in your van now,
Mm-hmm.
and that is what it's fucking all about, so to speak. I think that along the lines, when we go to art school and stuff, we get this degree and we get the same things that people who aren't artistically inclined receive degrees, and we get a work ethic scheduled down. We have these 7:30 classes and stuff, but it's important to still live this artistic, almost gypsy lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's so weird because that's what makes us great artists. It's those pieces of us that make us great. And I actually, one of the reasons why I'm so inclined to do this podcast and make art for my friends and print them and give them out for free and whatever is because I spent the past 5 years as a production artist making shit money, having like a lunch break, having like working for somebody else, doing just like repetitive, monotonous like production work, where like I was really just downloading SVGs and vectors and like applying them, and like when he needed a graphic design, what he really needed is someone who could call like whether or not everything was aligned left, or like just brainless design. You know what I'm saying? Not anything creative, no. But I worked there for 5 years. I was stoned the whole time. I didn't really realize I was stoned the whole time because it made me okay with the situation, because
Sure.
if I was stoned and had a podcast on and I was just like copying and pasting logos all day, or like building advertisement from a template in Premiere and just like sending it out, but even those Premiere projects had compliance, so they had to be like a certain way. I found it like devoured me as an artist, and at a certain point I started like thinking like a suit and tie dude, and it was because of these, I don't want to say restrictions because they weren't restrictions. It was because of these, that this like 9 to 5 attribute lifestyle where it wasn't like driven on passion or like crazy ideas or weird things. So dude, I just like first of all, I knew I had to sober up because like if I was to do something drastic, it needed to be well thought out. You know, what I didn't want to do is do some like weird thing. I sobered up and was sober for about 6 months. Realized I'm gonna do it, and I just fucking up and quit my job, and I've just been cold calling, doing design, and running a podcast, barely scraping by, but like so happy.
That's good.
Yeah,
You look great.
oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, well, I try to take care of myself. That's like always been like an important thing is like you never want to like I never wanted to go off the deep end, but sometimes the deep end doesn't mean needles in your arm or like it's something weird like this. Sometimes the deep end is like you all of a sudden trying to account for 6 years of your life and you realize that you existed, but that's about all you did.
Do you think you had to go off the deep end or find one side to know the other?
For sure. I think that if it wasn't for, and I could sit here and act like I'm super mad at this guy, but I'm not because what he did is he just paid me what he could. And and I don't talk about this a lot because like, I think off of the momentum of quitting the job and doing this, I think that you have to believe in yourself to the point where you're like, no, fuck that job. This is what's up, blah, blah, blah. But you know, like in reflection, the guy probably, well, you know, sketchy shit. I talked to the clients, they've reached out to me and been like, well, a dude we worked with who's a friend of mine reached out to me and was like, hey, man, are you still doing design? And I'm like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So in the middle of working things out, I found out that I did a shoot for him, a real estate photography shoot. What he said was for free, but ended up charging him $3,000 that I just never saw any of the money for, or 2,000 or something.
Wow.
So there was like little bits of it, and like there's a side of me that wants to get his back. So we will keep this positive, and I will say that he's probably just running a business. I know that he has a family, and if he's not with his family, he's at the office. Number one. Number two, if it wasn't for me like just drowning in that certain circumstance, I just stopped smoking pot. Well, I mean, you know me back when in school, like I was just getting toasted before classes and stuff, and it was a part of me, and I was definitely able to like do the things. And when I say do the things, I mean like show up for attendance and this and that. But I mean, like, dude, I didn't actually produce art, you know, until like I think about all the classes, and I have a big regret of doing the entire art school the way I did, and I wish that I could go back and like I can do things now that I know Sheridan would have been like, yo, we got to fucking do something with this, you know, or like ideas where like Avanthia would have been like, yo, did you come up with this fucking idea? And me be like, yeah, I've been working on this for a week straight just to show you this today. Right. When me, it was like all about the bare minimum, and, and there was no passion in it. So
because it's school, and that's like I think got in our heads.
Yeah,
when we show up, you show up at a certain time, and then it takes some specialness out of it.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden, it's not your expression anymore; it's the assignment and the deadline, and so then it becomes like a task.
Yeah, it's no longer passion driven, you know, when somebody is telling you need to do it for free, you know. But it is what it is, and now here I am. Like one of the biggest things that fuels me is making up for lost time. You know, like just I don't ever want to see myself complacent again, just because I honestly I'm in love with design more than I ever have been right now. And like, I just, instead of getting stoned or drunk or whatever, like I really just want to like, cause I don't know, I try and put myself in these situations where like I can't wait to like make money from doing like a UX interface design or some like fucking techie thing. But the truth is I just want an app on my phone that I'm like, oh man, look how well this works. Like I did this, you know, or something like that. And I guess that means like I really love design, dude. And it's fucking crazy that all these years later, you know, I went to school, signed up for an audio degree.
After?
Before.
Oh, before?
I went to the fucking school and I showed them my high school grades and was like, I wanted to be an audio major. They're like, you needed to go to school to be an audio major, you idiot. Like, but you can be a graphic design. I see that you have classes in high school. Miss Azizi, she actually taught graphic design at Costa. I don't know if you took a design class. Didn't you go to Costa?
No,
Or
I
you
went to
Redondo?
Redondo.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Costa and El Segundo had the same graphic design teacher
Okay.
for a little bit, so
Cool.
I get to fucking chat with my Mustangs about that every now and then. But
Nice.
yeah, super crazy. But Romy is a buddy of mine, and you never smoked pot with me, but we did crack a couple alcoholic waters in the classroom. Yeah, we did that. We'd go down to the liquor store and get some wine or a beer in the alley or something like that.
Yeah,
It was
because we
good
were adults. We could.
Yeah, it was sick, dude. Yeah, it was fun. There were some perks about school, but it rubbed some people one way, and I'm very thankful for the situation, and like I really feel like it gave me the tools to design the way that all the things I need to do. I could build a podcast layout. I can cut things, like I've learned how to utilize all the things that I've learned. Probably could have learned it myself. Probably wouldn't have learned it myself, like
without showing up to the place and
yeah,
committing yourself to that time.
For sure. And it wasn't towards the end that like I was really starting to fall in love with some projects. I think one of my teachers was just like, said something like, yeah, you know, there's no way you're going to know how good you are as a designer, like if you're fucking stoned all the time, and like was joking with me. It was just, and I was just like, what are you fucking doing to me right now, man? Like, and it got me fucking tripping. So I was like, fucking mark me present. I think it was Marwin or something. 'Cause Marwin Marwin Schultz. Do you know Marwin?
I don't know him.
Okay. No. He ended up being one of the teachers. He's a Marine, super sick, probably your age. But we clicked off because I was into metal and hardcore, and he went to school in Boston with a couple dudes from a band that I knew of. So we kind of linked up, but he kind of had this older brother complex where if I was showing up to class stoned or anything, he would be like, call me Cheech or like whatever. So
give you a hard time.
Yeah, give me a hard time. But they just, they kind of know. It was weird. It was a weird vibe with the teachers because all of them knew what kind of money you were putting into the program.
Ridiculous.
And there was like a sympathetic tone, like to all the conversations with the teachers, like that I can recall, where they'd be like, yeah, because you guys are just going to be like hammered with this money, And it was...
Yeah, they knew.
Yeah, they knew. And you knew.
What was the teacher's name? The blonde, super steezy, always looking... Southern lady?
Okay, yes. That was Sheridan. That's who I was talking about, Sheridan. Lowry was her last name.
Yes, that's right.
Sheridan.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's from Charleston. Okay. And yeah, she's like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit.
She said it how it was.
Yeah, she was fucking...
I loved that.
Yeah, she was fucking awesome. She was super fun. And again, like, as you're in the program and you're literally... These teachers are watching you grow from... like, I went in as a 21-year-old. You can imagine the changes from, like, a 21, 22-year-old to a 25-year-old or whatever it was. Like, at the beginning... I was seriously getting hammered before class, and then towards the end of my school career, there's no way I would have done that, just because I would have been like, yo, man, like I gotta sit somewhere for 3 hours, and like, and you're in the classes with the same teachers for so long that you're respecting their time more. In the first couple of years, you're like, fuck you, man, this is art. I'm getting toasted, Bukowski. Deal with it. But towards the end, you're like, you realize that these people are just like getting some bullshit paycheck. The school closed down.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that school doesn't exist anymore.
No, it does not. What?
Yeah, that's one of the big lawsuits is the school doesn't exist anymore. It moved to Hollywood.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They just like stopped the funding for it and shit. So it was a mess. Our program was shutting down. We all graduated in time, but there are people who started the program who had to migrate to another school.
Are you kidding me?
No, it was...
That is so sad.
It was sad, and it's like just kind of speaks on the buffoonery that is the Art Institute. It just was like this greedy corporation.
It's a business. It's definitely a business.
It's Argosy. It's like, and this isn't a political statement, but it's just like, it's got like a Trump University vibe, where it's just like, yo, man, like... you pay your, like, it seemed like I couldn't get any fucking help until it was time for me to give them money. And they were like fucking coming out of the bushes like, hey, FAFSA. Did you finish? Did you
Right.
file your FAFSA? Like,
Oh,
fucking
no.
commandos from the helicopters and shit.
Oh,
But
my God.
anytime
Yeah.
you needed help, like getting a fucking new ID card, it was like, forget it, dude. Make your own.
Yeah.
You know, it was a mess.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, that was so. What? Now that I'm done introducing myself over the past, that's what I've been up to for the past 10 years. What the fuck have you been doing, dude?
So,
I'm gonna move this mic up just a little.
okay.
I don't want there.
Oh,
I just
nice.
want you talking straight into the
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, the biggest thing for me last September, I got in a car accident. I got a really bad concussion, broke my collarbone. Went to physical therapy after for the concussion and to get mobility back into my shoulder and full use of my arm.
What?
Yeah, I was in Vegas and I was with my girlfriend at the time, and daylight. It was like 5 p.m. Going through a green light, and this car makes a left into my side. So that car was going like 15, maybe 10 miles an hour.
Okay.
Ran a red arrow. I'm going through the green. Thankfully, people saw it.
Were you just in your little car? You
I was in my tiny, that
Yeah.
Toyota Yaris.
Yeah.
I just got rocked. All of a sudden, like, shit was flying around. There was glass in my eyes. Like, everything was like, the airbags went off. There was dust everywhere. And we were like heading onto like some on-ramp of the freeway. And then I hit something else again. And then that's when I hit my face like on the steering wheel. And yeah, I just remember like all of a sudden my vision like kind of leaving. And then everything went white. It was like tunnel, but like everything was white. And then
And you were conscious during this, or do you think that was you blacking out, or
yeah, that was
fucking
me
dying,
That was
or
definitely
what?
me holding on. Like I don't think I was dying. I didn't, at no point did I think I was dying. I definitely thought
Well,
something bad had happened and I didn't know what. It felt like an outer force. I don't believe in God, but it felt like God was like, your turn. And something
Yeah.
happened to me in that moment, and I never felt like such an external force like that. But once I realized it was a fucking car accident, I was kind of like went into my EMT mode, and I reached over and I touched my friend. I'm like, hey, we just got in a car accident. Don't get out of the car, like, because she was
Keep
trying
going.
to.
I'm just checking something real quick.
She was trying to open the door, trying to roll down the window, trying to take off her seatbelt and like walk away. And I'm like,
Yeah,
just
you're not supposed to do that.
no.
Apparently.
And
You're
so
not
I
supposed to move.
no. So I'm like, don't move your head, don't look left, don't look right. This is all I can't see, and I could barely breathe because I got the wind knocked out of me. And we were making the craziest sounds once we got hit. We were just like gasping for air. Once we got our breaths, I was like, oh my God. Okay, don't move. Don't open the door. They're coming. Like the EMTs paramedics are coming. They're going to come take care of us. Everything's going to be all right. And so I just remember like my vision being white and my mouth being all wet. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I looked down and all I could see was like maybe like 6 to like 8 inches in front of me. And I was looking down my shirt and like I spit whatever was in my mouth and it was a ton of blood just coming off my lip. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I can't talk. And this lady comes up to my window and she's like, sir, are you okay? You okay? And I'm like, no. I just like remember in my head saying no and just nodding and not being able to breathe or talk. And she's like, okay, we're going to call 911. So eventually the paramedics show up. They have to get the jaws of life to get the door off. They're trying to like backboard me, put a C-collar on me. All the while my friend in the passenger seat, she's able to get out. She both, luckily everybody had their seatbelts on. Nobody was drunk. Nobody was texting.
That was in the day, right?
It was during the day. Yeah, but as soon as I say it was in Vegas, people were like, "Oh yeah, for sure."
Yeah,
everybody
for sure.
was drunk.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, luckily there was witnesses. Nobody was drunk or texting. And there was no kids in the car, thankfully.
So what was Idiot doing with the left turn into your car?
They weren't paying attention. I really think that they were texting or not paying attention. But the two that were in the big SUV, this was a Nissan Armada that hit me, the biggest SUV you could find.
That thing's giant.
Oh my God.
That thing's a tank, dude.
So yeah, that hit me. So they were so good that they got out of the car and tried to argue with me, and bystanders were pulling them back because
They were trying to argue with you?
yeah, they thought it was my fault. They're trying to prove their case to me right then and there as I'm like,
you're like maybe dying.
maybe exactly. And
And you're like, whatever, dude, go away.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know.
Oh,
This was
really?
told to me after. They're like, yeah, some
Ew.
lady came up to your window and we had to pull her away. And they were like, yeah, this man's really hurt right now.
Could
Like,
you
don't do that.
Could you imagine being that kind of person?
Right? I'm bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
I can't see.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
That's crazy.
I thought it was 2018 when I got hit. When the EMTs asked me, they're like, hey, what year is it? Or they asked me my name, where I was, what time it was. I kind of knew all that. And they asked me the year. I said 2016.
Really?
I said 2016.
That's crazy.
And I
dude.
was 100% sure.
And you're like, yeah, for sure.
I'm like, 2016. And then it was silent. And I was like,
what?
oh no.
You're like, well,
I was like, and I knew that was the wrong answer because there was silence. And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. 2000 and then they were like, it's okay. Don't rack your brain. Don't worry about it. I was like, 2018. They're like, there he is.
oh, okay.
And it took me a minute, but I really believed it was like 2016. It was crazy.
And so what exactly from your medical, because you are an EMT, what exactly happened to you?
So broke my collarbone. I got a concussion. It was.
And is that you just slamming your face?
So this was the door hitting me.
Oh, the door
The
hit
door
you.
got broken in, like dented in so bad they
just
had to get the
rocked your
jaws of
world?
life to pry the door open and then get me out of the car.
No shit.
Yeah, so the car actually hit me. My car hit me. Does that make sense? So that car hit my door, which hit me.
For sure.
So I absorbed all the energy
Oh my gosh.
with my head.
With your head.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So what's going on now? Like,
So not much anymore for the first 3 months to 4 months.
well, what's going on after? Because to continue on with that
okay,
story.
the story.
Yeah. No,
Okay, so then-
anyways, what's
Yeah,
going
they
on
put
now?
the seat collar on me. I remember them asking me the questions. I said it's 2016. I just remember it like time going by really slow. And once I got out of the car, they got me out of the car onto the stretcher. They put me in the back of the ambulance. And once I think I got in the back of the ambulance, that's when like I let go and I surrendered to this feeling of being safe because I don't really remember much after that.
Okay.
And so
Oh, you turned down your survival.
exactly. And so like things were hazy. And I just remember I have this audio in my head of the EMTs running the call while I was in the car, and it was like pristine. It was amazing. They ran the call fantastically. I couldn't have done it better in a classroom setting with instructors guiding me. It was like A+.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they ran the call really well. They took good care of me and my girlfriend at the time. It was amazing. I felt really safe. And so then heading to the hospital, I don't really remember much except saying like I just kept repeating I can't see. And they were like, that's okay. Just keep your eyes closed. And I remember being in the hospital but not being able to see. And then all of a sudden, like, I think I fell asleep. And when I woke up, my friends were there, like a couple of friends that I went to go visit. The reason why I was in Vegas was surprising a friend, CJ, for his birthday.
And you ended up fucking surprising them, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So he didn't know I was in town. I was going to Whole Foods to go pick up a cake and then go to his house. I was leaving the outlet malls. Bam, I get hit. So anyways, they're in the room and I open my eyes and I just start bawling my eyes out because I'm like, I felt sorry. I'm like, I'm so sorry that you have to deal with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, no, it's okay. We're here for you. And they comforted me and they said that everything was going to be all right. But I just knew that something bad had really, really happened to me. And so I think that's why I was like very emotional.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that shit happens, man. Like, not even half as bad as you, but I was coming down the 91 and someone just swerved into our lane and I was like, oh, fuck. And we were going freeway fast. Nobody was on the freeway, but we ended up spinning 360 and ended up on like the only grass fucking hill right underneath an overpass. And when you get out and you realize like how close you were
oh my gosh.
to death, you know, it's like where you can almost taste it. The worst part for me was like
You felt mortal.
Yeah, and hearing your
Wow.
hearing like your friends that you see and you're used to just saying like what's up to and shit, hearing them like scream like it's the end,
Oh,
you
my
know, like
gosh.
hearing your friend gasp for air was
Yeah.
probably like terrifying
Yeah.
for you, you
That
know?
was very like those human functions like that
Yeah.
are so primal.
Yes, when they're like in the throes of like I don't know, like injury.
Yeah.
Like hearing your loved ones in the throe of injury is is fucking tough, you know? And especially in my case, thank God nobody was hurt. We just ended up spinning the car 360 on the 91. I just waiting for like the second boom, you know what I'm saying? But we ended up on a hill, and then the fucking car had the audacity to like just like mellow roll back down the hill, and then all of a sudden we were just like the tires were popped, but we were just like on the side of the road, all good.
Wow.
And I was just like, and I broke down. It was like slow motion, hearing everybody scream like they're gonna die, and then I don't know, it's like you take a portal and you're right back on Earth again, and you're like, what the fuck trip was that?
Oh my gosh. Any neck injuries or like head injuries? Nothing.
Wow. Super lucky. We didn't hit anything.
Good.
I fucking swerved left towards the wall. I was in the lane next to the carpool lane.
Yeah.
So I swerved into the carpool lane and just in time swerved back the other way and threw the car into a 360 spin and just ended up on the hill and just rolled right back down the hill and no impact, nothing, dude.
Wow.
The only things that were wrong was the fucking tires blew out from underneath the car. It was super crazy. Yeah. Yeah, when you're younger, I don't know, man. Like, it was different. Like, we used to just like, it's just down the street drinking and driving and like whatever, you know?
Sure.
Because it sounds easy.
Well, yeah, because you're drunk.
It's an easy sell. You're like, fool, I can stay in one lane to fucking the 7-Eleven or whatever it is.
Never works like that.
Well, it's just like it can, you know, but unfortunately it can. And when it does, it solidifies the idea that, you know, like you're on this immortal, nothing can touch me thing. But then all of a sudden, dude. Especially when it's not even your fault, you know?
Yeah, I thought it was my fault until the cops came in. Like the cops came into the hospital room where I was, and they walk up and they're like, "Hey." I was like, "Hi." Like I hadn't seen. Apparently, they had seen me before. These were the cops that were on scene taking the report. And I was like, "Yeah, can I help you?" I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" I was like, "Uh-oh." So they're like, "Can you see now?" I was like, "Yeah." And then I started to put it together. I'm like, "Oh, they were probably trying to talk to me."
But you couldn't see, so
they didn't want to bother me with all that kind of stuff. And so they're like, "Hey, so do you have any questions for us?"
Oh yeah,
and
I
I'm
got
like,
a lot.
"Yeah."
Dude.
I'm like, "Okay." My first question was, "Is everybody okay in the other car?" And they said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Was there any kids?" They said, "No." I'm like, "Okay, thank God."
Like, all right, I'm about to get mad.
Yeah, and so I'm like, now I'm about to get mad. Exactly. And so then I asked, "Were they drunk?" And they said, "No." "Were they texting?" "No." I was like, "Okay, so this is weird."
Yeah.
And so they're like, "Anything else?" I'm like, "No." What's the prognosis? What's going on? And they're like, "It wasn't your fault. They ran a red. You're injured, but you seem okay, and you know."
But you were injured,
and didn't know how bad this concussion was until like maybe a week later. But they're like, "So your insurance is probably going to take care of this, and your insurance or their insurance is going to pay for all of it
for sure."
And I was like, that's when I knew. I was like, "Okay, I'm okay. It wasn't my fault."
For sure.
I thought I had done something terribly wrong.
Yeah, which is big. And you know what? In the legal system, that's where I think it matters. I think on a day-to-day basis, we see examples of people taking advantage of the legal system, and it's like, man, fuck, dude. Like, you're really gonna sue these fucking people? But it's like when you in that situation, like, of course they should pay for that.
I'm still going through it now, and so their insurance, they need all the paperwork, all the proof that I'm actually hurt and how bad I'm hurt. Right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people scam these companies.
Yeah.
This could have been set up.
Yeah.
I mean, but the concussion therapy and the x-rays show otherwise, that it's not a scam.
Yeah, for sure.
It's still like...
So you got some crazy documentation that...
Yeah, I do. And
so you said that you didn't realize how bad it got until a week later. What happened? You were taking a shower and you just woke up a week later?
It was kind of like... It didn't feel like real life. It just didn't feel like a dream. Almost, I don't know. It didn't feel real. Like, life didn't feel like it was actually happening. It was almost like too much caffeine. And I was like, is this real life? Like,
huh. And what, was there
And it wasn't a good feeling. It wasn't like, oh man, I feel like I'm floating. It was
No.
like this the sense of impeding doom of like,
Oh shit.
and so that was the anxiety until I
Yeah.
realized I had anxiety. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have anxiety
Wait, you have anxiety like
from the concussion.
Oh,
I never had anxiety, and I never understood anxiety.
Like when people would talk about it, you'd be like, "Fuck, man! Like everything's okay. What's your
I'm
trip?"
like, stop being a little bitch.
Yeah, for sure. But now you get it.
I understand 100% people out there that have anxiety.
Like, people have crippling anxiety, like stuck at home on a weekend because they can't go to the bar because there's just way too many people.
Whatever reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Psycho.
So then that's what I like. What this gut feeling was. It was like the best way I could describe it is like you just did something really, really bad.
Yeah.
And maybe that's that.
Yeah, principal's
feeling.
office. That's what I call it. Like,
the principal's office.
Like sitting there waiting
Yeah.
to get called into the principal's office. You're just like, fuck, man, this is going to be fucking gnarly.
Yeah, I'm in for it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's that feeling that I'm realizing this now. I think that's that feeling that I got when the accident happened. That initial blow to the head, maybe because I thought I did something wrong. So maybe that's what the anxiety is. And wow, I'm kind of realizing that now.
So you're realizing that right now on this podcast?
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. So, but yeah, I'm able to let go of these things too and get past my concussion. And Tess here, she was telling me, it's like, as soon as you let go of your story and what it is that is bothering you, and if you enroll yourself that you are the concussion and these symptoms, and you do have a concussion, the longer you're gonna like have these symptoms. And so like I started to just change my mindset, and I was like, okay, I don't have a concussion. That's not my story. When people would ask me, so is everything okay? And I would always want to say like, yeah, I'm still dealing with some symptoms like dizziness, which I had, some anxiety.
Yeah, that's the saying. Like you tell people like if you're getting closer to dying. It's just an expression that people, if you tell people that you're getting closer to dying, they already treat you like you're dead.
Wow.
You know,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So like the more you are like, yeah, I'm kind of going through this, they're like, yo, clear everything out of the fucking room, dude. You want this? You want that?
Sure.
And I think that can amplify your situation, you know, because it just becomes more, maybe like more magnified.
Yeah. I was putting out what I wanted.
Yeah.
And as soon as I shifted, things started to change in my head. And I started to believe that I didn't have a concussion. And so that didn't happen up until recently. And another thing that had helped me get through this was running. And once I got cleared for running, because this like up and down motion would mess with my vestibular system and it would make me dizzy and nauseous.
Oh shit, dude.
It's terrible. It was terrible. And like shaking my head it still kind of does, but I think that's with age now. And so like once I got cleared for running, I took up running, and then my buddy asked me, he's like, "Hey, do you want to do an ultra marathon?" I'm like, "Okay." I just said yes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I just said yes. I didn't know how far.
You just did?
I said yes.
You're an idiot.
Right.
I did a 5K and it was heavy, dude.
I saw that on your Instagram, and you beat your previous time by like a whole minute.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a lot.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
Dude, cool.
Yeah, a lot change. Hold on, let's keep going with you, dude. Do you know Ace Esquera?
Yes, of course. I was in a band with him.
He's watching right now.
Oh, what up, Ace?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, we were in what up, Time Bomb Derby, boys.
You were in Time Bomb Derby?
Yeah, I was like pretend though.
Oh,
like my
okay.
amp was turned down. I didn't really know how to play guitar.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you know who else was in? Do you know Topher?
Of course, yeah. Jerky Jabroni guy.
Yeah. Okay, so fucking small world. That's
Yeah.
fucking cool shit. Yeah, dude. Ace. That's Ace's chair.
I feel it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Thank you, Ace.
Yeah, thanks, Ace. So let's keep going. So you signed up for a fucking
Ultra marathon. What's an ultra marathon? Anything longer than a marathon. Some people like to say it's like 100 miles, but like it's literally anything that's more than 26.2. Anything over that. And so
I follow Courtney DeWalter.
Oh, dude, she's amazing.
She's amazing is one way to put it. I think she's a mental case, dude. She's just
you got to be a certain person.
You got to be like a kind of like a masochist. Like you kind of got to be like, or what is it? Is it a sadist? What's it if you're like into just fucking yourself?
Masochistic. You're masochist.
Yeah, you're just her shit is just taped up and it's the craziest.
Another
thing
guy you got to follow is Ryan Atkins.
Ryan Atkins.
Yeah, so if you look up Ryan Atkins' diet on on Instagram.
Oh, is he the Atkins diet?
Yeah, no, not the Atkins diet.
Oh, I
He
thought it
just
was
makes
that
fun of
guy.
himself like
Okay.
Atkins diet because his last name is Atkins.
Oh, okay, that's his Instagram handle.
But yeah, he's a Canadian like fucking buffalo beast of a man, and he's not human.
Yeah.
So that's the other side of ultra running. He does obstacle course racing.
Oh, like Spartan race and
Exactly,
shit.
Spartan.
Okay,
Spartan stuff.
I see. I'm more prone to want to do that. I have to like utilize. I love competing. I love competition. I love competing against myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely more prone to. See, I say that, but I really love the time period that I was running. It kind of brings you. I stopped bringing my headphones even. Like like where you're just like listening to yourself breathing and saying hello to people, and the best like you kind of find yourself in a community where like other runners are running by and chuck the peace sign. Yeah,
because you're like, I know I'm just as much pain as you.
Yeah,
like,
the Forrest Gump peace sign, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was epic. I got a pair of. I was just talking about these last night. How I was running in these Nike fucking bullshit fly knits, dude, and Nike makes a really good shoe for nothing, dude. Like the running shoes I had, just like my knees were always hurt and stuff, and we were joking last night on the podcast about how Nike makes a good shoe to do sit-ups in, because like
What?
yeah, exactly,
What?
because it's like if you run
What
in
a gimmick.
if you run in them like farther than first of all, they cost a ton of money. If you run in them for farther than like an actual running distance, your fucking legs hurt. They're not flats. They're not like a weightlifting shoe. They're just like an athletic lifestyle shoe. This is what we were joking about last night, because all the people I know who I have met since I started running and wanted to talk to them about like running actual distances, they're all wearing Hokas. They're all wearing like padded the Sauconys with like a fucking, like the ones I have are like look like Spice Girl platform shoes. Like, yeah, and they're epic, and the bottom of them's flat, and you can feel yourself on the asphalt. You feel like you're like moving your feet. You're able to push through the
you got
asphalt.
more ground feel.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know all the terminology, but
Okay.
yeah, and then you go to Village Runner and it's like Nike's not in there, but I was joking about it because I was running in these fly knits because they're made out of mesh and shit, but it's just not for me, man. It wears too much on my knee. What kind of shoes did you wear when you were running a lot?
I have a quiver of shoes right now for trail running.
Trail running.
So that was the ultra marathon was on a mountain. It wasn't flat.
Was it like the Moab?
Yeah. So there's a lot of elevation gain. There was snow. There was rock. There was some water.
Nice.
Some mud.
I have these all-terrain Adidas.
Ooh.
I don't think they're Terexes, but they're like I don't know. I wanted to do that more than anything. Like more than urban running, I wanted to like charge mountains and shit.
You should. I like it way more than traditional road running.
Yeah.
I despise road running. No disrespect to all the runners out there.
For me, it's strand running. Strand running is like kill me.
I mean, it's cool because it's the beach.
No, that's why it's not cool to me. Is because it's the same thing like forever.
Okay,
I'm not
cool.
into it. I am more into like, like dodging cars and like fucking running through like little stair passages and shit.
Like
I love
free running,
like urban assault, like
nice.
like going through little alleyways and stuff, and like
that's cool.
Going up parking structures and running them back down,
nice.
And like that shit. It has to be interesting. I have to be like engaged. Or else like
and that's mountain running.
Yeah, so
you're going through different energy systems.
Dude, take me on a jog, dude.
Let's go.
I would seriously go. My schedule's free as fuck right now.
Okay, cool.
No, seriously.
So
I'm just
we could definitely find some trails. I've been going to Malibu or Topanga, and there's some really cool trails there. The Santa Monica Mountains, they're not as beautiful as like they may seem. Once you get up there, it's dry.
I just don't like that. Disgusting. It's tourist trap. I never really hiked Malibu. I've been once or twice, and I was just like,
yeah. But once you get to a certain point, you get to a certain point. You start off on the trail, and then you see the Converse footprints, you see the Nike footprints. And then once you get up to like a few miles,
start turning into Sokas and Sauconys.
Yeah, once you get up a few miles, then the selfie people kind of disappear, the dogs disappear, and once you even go higher, then nobody's really around except other serious runners, and it's cool.
Yeah, and that's cool too. So I went with Kenzie, and bless her heart, but I got to the top of one mountain, and I like the feeling of being like, that trail, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, like I love that. I love tapping into, and that's one of the reasons why I started a podcast is I deal with this like side of me that's like this animal living in 2019. I love the things that bring me back to like a tribal feel. Like I love the one-on-one conversations, like where it's just me and you. Fucking like there's a virtual campfire right here. I love like running and like hurting and running and like getting it done, and like I like fucking I played doubles beach volleyball, and half the reason I like it is because you just feel mutilated.
Yeah.
It's like
You're throwing yourself all over the place.
it's almost not fun. Like it's almost not fun, but I love it. You know, like it's my favorite sport in the whole world. It's what I do. And I love like these little bits, like that sounds so fun, like seeing a trail and just being like it feels primal to me, like,
Yeah.
yo, we're just gonna go fucking run up that hill,
Right.
you know. It's something that I've never really gotten the chance to, because I'm sure you have like workout buddies, but like I don't, you know, I don't have like I have a buddy that I ride bikes with. I got a road bike, and
You got a road bike.
yeah,
Like-
yeah, a bicycle.
Like a tri-bike?
No, it's like it's
Like a fix?
No. It's not a fixed gear. It's a 10 speed. Yeah, it's a 10 speed. I forget exactly what it is. It's a specialized Alles. I think it's French. Does that sound familiar to you? Yeah, but from 2009.
Yeah.
So it's got like the multicolored stripes.
Oh, cool.
It's shit's cool, dude, and
Nice.
it's what I prefer not to fucking drive. My dashboard just lit up like a Christmas tree today, and I was just like, park.
Pet Boys.
Yeah,
It's
park.
cheap.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Pep Boys and have them fuck my car up, but
right.
also just gonna fucking keep some air in my tires and just bike everywhere.
Sure, yeah, why not?
You know,
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
can, if you could get away with it in LA. Everything's so fucking far apart here.
I don't go north. See,
Good.
I see you're in Venice.
Yeah.
That's a little far for me.
It's really far.
It's kind of in the no man's land, because it turns into, if I get too far into Los Angeles, it turns into like Grand Theft Auto like land for me.
Precisely.
Like it's seriously like it's super fun. Have you played Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yes.
It's like the people that are saying shit. It's like
It's
one
real.
big-
It's so real.
It's like Overheard LA is
Oh,
like
shit.
an actual place and city, and some of the conversations and just like the quality of conversation shit I hear. I don't know. You're from the South Bay, you know.
Yeah.
All my business is like I can find everything that I need down this way.
It's a bubble. It's a cool bubble.
I don't see it. I don't see it because I just like I'm not more socially involved than this. And then when we do this, it's more focused on like stories and like activities and like stuff. It's not. I think it's super bubbly if it was like gossipy, you know. But I don't see any of that. And I'm almost 30 now.
It's not that small of a town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good seeing you, Ace. Yeah, Ace
Good
is
to
a
see you,
dad
man.
now.
See ya.
Yeah. Thanks for
See you guys
stopping
on
by,
fucking-
AC.
Nice.
Yeah, but let's go run, dude.
I'm down.
I'm seriously down. It'd be fun for us to do something like that together too.
Yeah, I mean, I love trail running because it's different.
So long
energies.
as you don't like need a stretcher or something.
No.
So long as like
As long
we don't push your limit.
you just gotta have a water bottle if you drink water. Some people don't drink water. This is Tess over here. I don't know how she does it. She doesn't drink water.
Well, you're supposed to hydrate before, so you don't have to carry anything. Am I right, Tess? Boom.
She just doesn't drink water.
What?
This is crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she doesn't eat food. She would be
Wait,
she
what?
she'd be the best ultra runner. Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna have to talk over Romy's shoulder for a second. So Tess is an athletic. Is your athletic fucking? You guys do a lot of athletic shit together, or?
Yeah. Not yet. We have a plan. She's moving into the van with
Sick.
me soon.
Isn't that fun to live life outside of the traditional fucking whatever the traditional whatever is? Like hearing you say like, yeah, she's gonna move into the van.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking yeah, man.
yeah.
At some
Fuck yeah.
point, at some point in human beings' history, our only job was to provide service or whatever that service was,
Yeah.
trading or bartering or whatever, so that you had enough food so you didn't starve. You know, that was like your only job. At somewhere along the line, it turned into like, you need a fucking car and you need this, and you need all these clothes.
Gotta
and
go to
whatever.
the Art Institute.
Yeah, and you gotta go to fucking AI. And that's it, dude. But I totally love hearing stories like that where it's like people who are like, oh no, like, and they look at me like, yeah, just I live in my van. Yeah, we're gonna go out to the desert and run like on a Tuesday, and it's like that's fucking beautiful, man. Like, I encourage that. I don't know, this whole like 9 to 5 thing. Fucking, this is the same people who are like in a Subway fucking screaming at the person about their sandwich and shit at like 42 years old. You don't want to be that person. You gotta do.
How can you not be upset?
Yeah.
If you're waking up half asleep on like 4 hours of sleep, making a bunch of money that goes to the super expensive rent.
Yeah, super expensive rent, and you spend your fun time spending that money, or dude, what fucking didn't what killed it for me, where I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And these are all things that I've explored as I'm sober, so I'm afraid that like breaking my sobriety would like kind of put the veil back down over my eyes, because I've had time to like watch it, because I don't go do happy hour and shit, because it's like, but what's always tripped me out is the idea that like you go and work some job that you don't like, and then you go like drink it off for like cheap at happy hour. Doing? Yeah, it's like, are you just kind of like numbing the pain that you just dealt with all day?
Absolutely.
Like it's just a trip, dude. It's just a fucking trip. What do you do for money right now? Are you a lifeguard still?
Yeah. Ocean lifeguard in Venice.
Always been.
This is my 11th summer.
But you'll always be a lifeguard.
Yeah, I'm always going to keep this job I'm seasonal. So pretty much from June to September.
And then what do you do?
Memorial Day to Labor Day.
And then what do you do after?
After that, I would get a minimum wage job.
For sure. That's sick.
Yeah.
I love it.
Recently, I
love it so much. I'm going to Spain and Morocco, just blowing all my money.
Oh, yeah. See, that's kind of the idea. And like my plan right now is just live off of lifeguard money. And especially now that I got the van, I could go climb, trail run.
I love it.
I
have climbing
outside.
gear.
You got climbing gear?
Yeah, I got shoes. I got a harness.
Nice.
I got a gree.
Cool.
I got it.
Let's go.
We can go.
I got climbing shoes in my van.
We can go live the life together, dude. I need to sell this fucking studio.
Let's do it, dude. We got a lot of money right here.
Yeah,
we get a lot of money for this blue mic.
Studio's coming with me. I am so passionate about this and my freelance design, but everything else. Oh, and my girlfriend, but everything else can fuck off. That's why, like, I don't know. I'm just like disassociated from that race. I'm so lucky for my situation and shit here, but when anybody like questions like, yeah, what about this? What about that? I'm like, bro, that's your race. Like, I'm good to go. Like, I sit and I listen to positive stories, and I hope that I promote those stories on my Instagram so that people can hear those stories and be like, whoa, like that. I'm going through that shit or whatever. I make sure that I have a roof over my head, which I do. I do my design because I need to create stuff, and that's fucking it, dude. I buy clothes off the sale rack.
Not a boy.
Yeah, I just I don't.
Do you buy used clothes?
Well, I would, but I wear t-shirts, high socks, shorts above the knee. That's it. That's my vibe. Dad hat. That's my thing. And t-shirts are like at Active. You can get like 2 for $20. That's a pretty good deal for me. Those shirts last me forever. Shorts are fucking whatever. I mean, and I have like my buddy works at Hurley and shit, but I don't know, man. Like, I haven't, and I can live off like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I do a green shake every day, kale and spinach with like pineapple, strawberry, and ginger. Ooh. And it's like, but that good to go. With that, this is it. This is like my Ferrari. Yeah. This whole setup.
This is your pre-midlife crisis right here.
I don't know. I'm not having a midlife crisis. Not
How
anymore.
Do you know?
Oh,
you don't know. You don't know when you're in it.
I know, dude. I know. If something, a variable would have to be introduced into this situation that was a foreign variable, like you, in order for this to turn into like something not negative. My life is so epic right now, and it's really because like I've just let go of everything. I've just like, I don't know. I've spent my whole life like really worrying about the consequences, but I've have this fixed dial on worrying about the consequences and trying to just live and keeping in mind for what's important. Like, for example, like your car situation, your car accident, that situation goes through my mind every day. In that, like, when I see Kenzie and she's saying goodbye to me, I understand that, like, yo, like in the shower, I think about it, and I want to say almost every day, like, yo, if you get hit by a car today, like, is everything you're doing, like,
Are you okay with it?
yeah, are you good? Are you good with
You good to
going down
go?
like this? And it's like, dude, for the first time in my life, like now that there's like no, I got sober initially. I need to get better at finishing my thoughts. Are you okay with going out like this? And the answer is yes, dude. And I say that because, dude, I've been on the other side, man. Like I was a pack a day, going
That's
to bed.
right. Yeah, you were a smoker. You don't
Yeah.
smoke anymore?
Not a
My
fucking
guy.
vape. Not a vape, my brother.
Wow.
Yeah, not a fucking
Right,
jewel,
good for
nothing.
you.
Dude, but I used to be drunk, high on coke, stoned, fucking smoking my face off. Like I've seen the devil on the other side, you know, the demon, not the devil, because
Sure.
you know, whatever.
Whatever.
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure where I stand on religion. I kind of just believe in people in this.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course.
You know.
Yeah,
But
your sobriety. Tell me, okay, so how
wanna
long
know.
were you sober for?
So I've tried on and off. First of all, there's a saying that my friend Matt told me just the other day on the podcast where he's like, rock bottom is when you stop digging. And I got to a point where like I would wake up,
Cool.
you know, after coke, making excuses to why I needed a cigarette, this and that, and I hated myself for it. I felt dishonest.
Yeah, but how long were you sober?
Well, so here's the thing: is like,
You were on and off.
yeah, I
And what
on
was
and
your
off
longest
right now,
stint of sobriety?
right now,
So
since
how long?
November 17th.
Last November?
Last November. I took a Norco when I got my leg tattooed,
Uh-huh.
but I mean, it was like utility. Like,
So just caffeine is the only drug that you consume.
if you want to call it a caffeine, I
Sure.
think it makes me more productive and
Yeah.
and more engaged in
course,
in
it's
the
a-
things that I love doing. You know, it enhances my life, and dude, like I love coffee. I drink it black.
Mm.
I brew it and I savor it and enjoy
give me a
it.
cup of what you're sipping
Here, yeah, it's right over there. I think it should be hot. Yeah, that's just that. I just realized the other day at Trader Joe's that you can buy their coffee beans and then grind them in the store, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That's the sickest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Have you ever tried to grind them in like that little pencil sharpener? Is like my fucking nightmare, dude. Do you want me to call Kenzie up to get you a cup? Would you like a cup of coffee as well? Okay, you let me know if you change your mind.
So sobriety, because I go on and off as well. And the first time I did sobriety was a month of no drinking.
That's sick.
And yeah, it was right before. I think I just remember doing it like when I was like 28, 29. I remember just taking a month off, and just because I wanted some balance in my life, and I'm like, okay, let's try it. Why
Yeah.
not? Just
Yeah.
I could go out and enjoy myself.
For
And so
sure.
then before I turned 30, I gave myself an awesome gift of being 3 months sober. And
Sick,
so I was
dude.
like, okay, this feels amazing. After 30 days, it felt good. After 60, I was like, all right, this is clean living. This is amazing. And then
Yeah.
after 90 days, I was like, why don't I just go forever?
Yeah.
But for me, it like for me it turned into a numbers game and just seeing how far I could go. And I'm like, that's not really sobriety.
Yeah. See, that's not it for me either. I got a 3-month chip from Kenzie, and she just did that because it's my pat on the back, because it wasn't hard and I was fucking in a weird place for a second. But you let go of that, and I think that's the goal, is to find yourself in a position where you're no longer. Sobriety just is to me, you know, it is. I just don't take part in whatever. And I think that the effort that people practicing sobriety I think that they should just do it enough until it becomes maybe a part of them. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't have to like look at the numbers, because I would become really obsessive about the whole thing, and it would turn into something like almost a chore for me, being like 59 days, just got to get to 68.
God.
And then once you let go of that and just be like, look, dude, this is it. Like, stop
The
counting.
payoff is not the number. It's the feeling and your health.
It's the podcast. It's the conversations. It's the
Yeah.
ability to play volleyball. Because, like, on a normal day, so today I played volleyball.
Cool.
I play volleyball every Saturday. That's my bomb. I say that every time. It's not even funny. I don't know why.
not funny
I
anymore.
always say that there's a bomb in here.
It's not funny anymore.
Yeah, Jesus.
Change your story.
So, so every Saturday I go and play volleyball. I would have gone and had a shot at Palmia where my friends work after, and that wouldn't have just been a shot. That would have been like, oh, let me see if I can hit somebody's vape. I would have got myself all charged on somebody's vape, and then I would have went home. That rush of being on the vape would have been eating at me. I would have been okay with smoking a cigarette. Do you see where this is now?
Yeah, slippery slope.
And now we're only 1 o'clock, and it's like,
no.
I'm Ubering everywhere. You know, it's not like I'm like, and I'm not out like punching people in the street and shit.
I never
But it
saw
was
you as a
it was
violent
just
guy.
it was just like fucking. I remember towards the end there, like when I would, because my job that I worked forever was only paying me $15 an hour, so I didn't have like a ton of money to go out and like fucking, you know, Little John music video. It was like, but I had to keep an inventory. Like, okay, I have this much for beer, which means I can do like, I can buy this many beers, and then like, is this person gonna have cigarettes? And like, what if I get too drunk? Like, is this person gonna have blow? And it was like, before I'd go out, there was like a 20-minute. It was weird. It's foreign to me now because I've spent so much time with myself like this, where I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You know? But dude, I wasn't. You can see on my Instagram where I went sober, because before it was just like throwback Thursday pictures and me like just trying to find a voice and like taking random pictures of stupid whatever. And like as soon as it went sober, it was art, podcasts, projects, and now like meaningful.
Isn't it crazy?
Purpose.
How like things shift as
it's-
soon as you get rid of something.
Yeah,
It could be anything.
I don't eat meat either. It was like a couple things you like find, and I attribute to like that, like, all right, how would you live if you were on an island and you didn't have anybody to smoke weed with, and you didn't have a bar to go to because your friends were going to, and you didn't have this, and you didn't have all these things, and now for the first time in my life, I'm living on my proverbial island where there's no bar to go to. There's no bar, dude. There's no bar. There's no weed. There's no cigarettes. There's no nothing. So what do you do with your free time? Well, I like joking, and I'm a pretty social dude. So I guess I would have a talk show, and I would make art because I've always loved doing that. And I would hang out at home, and that would just be my life. It's like, then get fucking started doing that. And
Right. Now you're doing it.
And then I start doing it, and then you start living your own life because you're no longer influenced by other people. I bounce everywhere. As soon as we're going out, Drew, get a Red Bull, like, I don't even like the bars. I'm out. And it's like, you don't like the bars? Like, like, it's like a weird thing to say. And it's like, no, dude, I just like, I don't like, if it's not like I don't like people. I run a talk show. Like, I love talking to people, but we don't talk here. We kind of yell at each other, and like, you just kind of like are fucking doing this. And it turns into like where I got to like pull it apart too much. And it's maybe not like I don't know. It's just, it's what it is for me, you know? And again, like, what's important to remember when you're living your own life, like I said, is that you're not living other people's. So if people enjoy being in the bar and being social and stuff, more power to them. I couldn't do it. It made me chase down cigarettes, look for coke, it made me run this like fucking inventory where like I needed to have all of these substances in line, weed to go to bed, coke to stay up. It was a nightmare for me. And like, it's not how I run.
Be, do, and have. That's like the roadmap for life that I've found that works for me.
Be, do, and have?
Be, do, and have. And you can't do it in any other order, and I'll explain.
Okay.
What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? You got to do the things that you're going to do to have the things that you want.
Uh-huh.
You can't do it in any other order. You can't have the things and then be the person.
Yeah.
Perfect example. You can't just have the cars and be rich.
Yeah.
So who do you get to be? And what you're explaining is like, I wanted this, this, and this, and then you started doing the things, and now you have it.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to be? I want to be productive. Okay,
Yeah.
so then you do productive things,
For
and then you
sure.
have products.
Yeah.
And your product is people sitting in front of you here
Yeah.
having great conversation.
Well, sitting with people, not it's like no one's like in fucking trial here. Like,
Right,
yeah,
right.
sit in front of me. No,
Sure,
it's,
sure.
yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It was my arithmetic didn't make sense. It was like I wanted 2 + 2 to equal 5. It just
You
like,
wanted to have the things, but you weren't doing the
yeah.
things that you
And I was
needed to do.
watching it happen, and social media does a great job of letting you know what everybody's up to. And I'm competitive as fuck, like I told you. So
Yeah.
I would register people like having these things as like, one, I was confused thinking like, oh, that's what I fucking need because I feel so shitty. That's what I need. And I was like, man, I have nothing. But it was like, I didn't realize that it was my job from the start. I'm trying to think of, let me organize these thoughts. Social media did a really great job of making me realize and taste how behind I was compared to somebody who was really just doing whatever the fuck they wanted to
You're
do.
journaling.
Yeah.
You're journaling on it. I mean, I think that's what Instagram is. It's like a time capsule.
Yeah, but people, I would openly do it to serve my ego, and the likes meant something for me. They used to. This is different, another age. But yeah, man, if I could find a picture of me with my friends and we're all smiling and stuff, then I was a functional person in society living a life of purpose because I had this picture that was getting likes. People recognized that, like, oh, Drew's out on a Saturday living the good life. Dopamine. That's right.
Fucking likes. That's what they were.
Yeah,
Or
for
that's what
sure.
they are.
Yeah, my buddy
attention.
Ryan was saying that there's studies that show that dopamine's released in the brain every time you get a like. It's
Of course.
it's this overwhelming feeling, and that was weird because you got to let go of that. You know, but that shit's not important to me anymore. It was just kind of, but that shit not being important to me isn't not important to me anymore just because, like, I was like, well, it's not important to me. I need to stop caring about that. It's because I found things that really matter, and there's just not enough room for like Instagram likes to give a shit, you know? And everything, it unravels. Hard work is recognized. That's one thing I've learned over the past year is like, if you work hard and you're doing your own thing, people recognize it. That's what I've known. You cannot bullshit your way into it. It would be weird for you to half-ass something and you blow up. Like, everybody wants to be insta famous, whatever. If you're not working hard at something, it's not going to go anywhere. So I've kept my head down and I've just worked hard. And every day I just schedule podcasts. Hey man, let's do a podcast sometime. Saturday. Perfect. Whatever happens to it and I just have this philosophy that this is for me and you. Fuck everybody else. Like, really love you guys, but fuck you guys. Like, this is about me catching up with you. It's documented. And I have to have that philosophy behind this because without that, it turns into something else. It turns into this,
I see what you're saying.
It turns into this like ego fed, like, listen to me talk thing when really
Got it.
I just am trying to, this is me journaling. This is my journaling. Like what you said on Instagram. This is me journaling the wisdom that everybody carries. This is me exposing what everybody has compartmentalized inside of them. This is the chance for you to fucking, for us to really express what makes us people. And dude, we're almost 30. Everybody has been through the proverbial car crash.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has something that has turned them into what they are. That's what this is about, man. It's because I spent so much time not having a voice, just stoned and working the same fucking bullshit job I couldn't stand. I spent so much time not having a voice that I said, you know what my fucking voice is going to be? It's going to be no voice, and I'm going to give other people a voice. And that's exactly what I've done.
That's beautiful.
And that's what's fucking important to me. And my voice has melded and still continues to mold from that philosophy.
I think I remember seeing a video or like somebody commenting on your picture, or I don't know what, somebody saying like you should do reviews.
Yeah, I made for the jerky jabroni, for Topher's jerky jabroni.
Yeah.
He sent me a thing, and that was me still trying to figure it out. But that was like,
How long ago was that?
That was 4 months ago, 3 months
Oh,
ago,
okay.
something like that.
'cause
Yeah,
I looked at this Instagram for the podcast. I was like, holy cow, you're doing it.
yeah,
Like,
I'm definitely doing it, and it's so fun because it's just all it is the things that we've learned in school. I mean, there's this That's what you see the layout. That's just Illustrator saved out to PNG, so it's transparent. And then this program it's used right here is just a like a layer system, like in Photoshop. See where it
Okay.
says 2 camera overlay, alert box, camera left, camera middle right here. Sources.
Oh yeah. Okay.
These are all just layers. Those are all just layers. So it's built the same, but it's just, I mean, I think in 2019, in a time, and I've noticed this and it frustrated me, I had noticed that we are, quote unquote, more connected than we've ever been, but we are so disconnected from ourselves. And what that disconnecting is from is our inability to, and you're a really social guy, so I don't think that you suffer from any of this. I know that you have a million friends and you're always doing something crazy.
You don't know me,
but you don't know me, homie. But there are people out there who only know how to interface via screen, and that's poisonous.
That's true.
That's poisonous. We're not built for that. I think, in an example I like to use is some days. And you were never a stove smoker, I don't think. So you probably can't relate to this. But I'm gonna use the feeling of being over caffeinated. There's a feeling I get when I surf the social media too much, and you see what somebody in Alaska is up to, and then the next scroll you see what somebody in fucking Dubai is up to, and then the next screen you see what somebody in Japan is up to, and I get
Making
this
my head spin.
and I get this feeling of over caffeinatedness. It's almost like system overload. And I think what is happening here is, to bring it back to the primal roots of everything, what I was talking about earlier, running hills and this digital campfires. I wanted to create a venue where we are tapping back into this natural phenomenon where we only, or what if we only really have the capacity to deal with our immediate tribe, our immediate 10 beloved people in our lives, whether it's your family, your 4 best friends, your significant other, whatever. What if this social media and this phenomenon of everything being connected is actually really unhealthy for us, because our brains, and we'll develop as time goes on, years go on, but what if right now this new surge of technology and us knowing what the fuck everybody's up to and what your plate of food looks like while you're on vacation in Thailand and shit, what if the reason this is so unhealthy for us is because we don't have the capacity to handle all of these things? Because there's statistics to show, like, there's more non-fatal self-harm in kids 9 to 11 than ever before. These kids don't know how to handle all this technology because kids are playing hot or not, that old school game where, like, you write down somebody's name and you say whether they're hot or not. It's like
that could be cruel.
Oh, dude. Try telling 9-year-old Andrew, like,
oh jeez,
yeah, like, picking on him. I was the most sensitive kid ever, dude. I still have friends to this day that were bullied. Being a really pretty girl in high school or whatever, was bullied by the seniors or whatever.
No.
Girls are fucked up to each other.
Whoa.
Yeah, girls are fucked up to. I forgot who else. My friend Jimmy Vlahos, he's a teacher. He was on here saying that boys handle their confrontation physical. It will get to a point where it's like, yo, man, like, if we got a problem, like, we could figure that out. And that's the natural reaction for boys is it just comes to physical. We're either figuring it out on that plane or this is done. But girls will take place, and according to studies that he's looked into, are into deconstruction of character. So they'll throw slander. They'll kill the rep. They'll kill your street rep. That's just something that's
heady.
Well,
you guys are like that?
Yeah, well, that's what we're used to. When girls were mean to each other, they'd say things like, "You're fat, you're ugly, you're this, you're that."
Yeah,
and boys never say that shit to each other. Boys are just like, fight me,
fight me.
or meet me after school at 3. It was one was deconstruction of one's, like, reputation or character, and the other one was physical. And now the physical thing, it's not a problem for boys, because boys are just, yo, man, what the fuck? Don't call me ugly. Meet me at the fucking flagpole. We can fight, whatever. But girls, now it's like they have this now they have a soapbox and a microphone now. Now they have a microphone where they can go, "You're ugly. Everybody thinks you're ugly. I'm going to post this fucking Photoshop picture of you being ugly," and it is not working for little kids.
What? So do you think this fighting is a form of communication?
I think I think conflict is a human condition, you know, and I think resolving conflict, it will exist. I think it's just something that is, you know. I don't think it's a form of communication. I think that it's just, I mean, again, we're fucking animals, dude. Like,
some people think it's communication.
A fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I like
to get a point across, or like whatever the fight may be.
Sometimes, I mean, like, I can definitely see that sometimes in situations. Sometimes I could see it coming to that, but I would like to believe that, like, conflict resolve is communication. Fighting communication is weird because, I mean, we can speculate what it means to, like, go out and beat the shit out of somebody, like what you're really trying to communicate. But I figure that's almost a lack of communication.
Well, yeah, it's the most unintelligent way to communicate.
Yeah, for sure.
Touch someone else.
Yeah,
violently.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. I think conflict resolve is an umbrella term, you know, and that's everything from guerrilla fight somebody to, hey man, we need to fucking figure this shit out right now because I'm not doing this with you anymore.
So what about in the context of jujitsu or like martial arts, things like that?
Well, jujitsu.
Do you think that's like a form of communication? Like,
yeah, I do, because I think, one, it's an art form. You know, it's not rage induced, and I think
it could be.
I'm saying I think a lot. Yeah, it could be utilized towards something rage or passion driven in the shape of rage, but martial arts itself is something built on the foundations of respect, determination, self-respect, hard work,
respect for the opponent as well.
Respect for the opponent, a belt system to keep you in fucking check with where you are. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the belt system is so you don't fucking walk up in there and be like, guess what, motherfucker? Everybody dies today. Who's first? No. You know, you walk in there with a white belt, and that white belt, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't notice you're wearing a belt because it's white. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a level system, and martial arts is very keen. Well, and martial arts is one of the, I mean, it's as old as resolution of conflict, dude. Like, martial arts is, so there's something different there. There's no like sensei in like Viking fighting. You know what I'm saying? So
that's more brute force method.
Yeah, I think
that's problem solving.
Yeah, problem solving. Well, I think it's problematic. There's a lot of things to just fighting, but I forget what we were talking about. Is fighting communication? I think martial arts, because it's derivative of respect, determination. I think that could be, in a way, poetic. But is fighting a form of communication? I mean, I don't know. You could speculate both sides.
Yeah, true.
You know?
Yeah.
But to bring it full circle, this is...
Oh, we were talking about the likes and shit.
Yeah,
and
we were talking about
bullying.
I wanted to say how unnatural it is for us to know what the fuck people are up to in Dubai or whatever.
Right.
And what this is a chance to do is to sit down in front of that proverbial fire, if you will, and kind of try to touch back into something that is, I don't know, dated, you know, something I use primal, but really like primal, like just a conversation where there's no like, yeah, hold on a second, dude, like, or anything like that. It's like questions that you don't know and stories, and you know, that sounded appealing to me. For some reason, you know, I
don't know what the exact number is, but I think we're only, like, as humans, maybe able to maintain a certain amount of connections. And I think that's what you were kind of talking about.
Yeah. Well, I was speculating that. I don't know for sure, but if there's a study, then
I mean, I haven't read anything about it. I've heard
Oh
I've
man,
heard some things.
look how much the chair's stunk.
I know. I'm sinking slowly. It's gonna be funny in the video. As soon as it goes.
Thanks for the chair, Ace.
Yeah, thanks.
Uh,
Yeah. So I mean, I think that social media thing is It's like it's unnatural to us because we can't maintain that amount of connections.
Yeah.
It's a crutch for sure, and it helps. But when it's used in a way, like you were saying, to like keep in contact, maybe, and
yeah.
have your fire with thousands of people, like it's not real.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it's not real, and it's okay to be like, man, these people are just like outside of my tribe. Like don't really care what these people are doing.
Or you pretend to.
Yeah, and you pretend to
Because you could just like it, and that's you communicating.
Yeah, and that again, like people are like I hated going to the bars and people like all these people who like my shit or I like their shit or not. It doesn't even got to be me. No disrespect to anybody who supports my shit. I love you guys, but I hated talking to them outside the internet, and it was like awkward. Like like we've established this relationship because you're very supportive of the things that I'm into, and I feel like I talk to you all the time, but I'm sitting here talking to you and like, why does this feel so unnatural? And the answer to that is because we're not actually communicating. Like Instagram and Facebook has done a great job of making us feel like we're in touch, but we're not in touch. Like, but I know when your birthday is, you know, and
right?
like
Because Facebook tells me.
And like I told you happy birthday, but did I? Like I just wrote happy birthday. Facebook almost does it for you.
Yeah.
It was a 2-second thing. Like,
Yeah.
but like I didn't call you. I didn't say, hey man, how's the lady? It's good to hear you. Listen, you old fuck, happy birthday, man. Like it wasn't that. It wasn't.
No.
So what was it? You know? And it's like we're getting to the point where we're just kind of like on story reactions on Instagram. You don't even have to fucking say anything anymore.
Yeah.
You're just like, happy face. And like if I see something, and I'm guilty of it, like if I see something that a buddy of mine has done and I'm really proud of them, I'm like, instead of being like, hey dude, I know that fucking takes hard work and I recognize that you sacrificed a lot of time and patience to get this shit done. I'm proud that you get to share this shit with us, man. Keep at it. Good work. Can't wait to see you progress in this. I do a fucking 100 emoji, you know, or a fucking celebrate emoji.
Like
and it's like, and it's just the way things are designed, you know, they've pinpointed it. Humans love to be resourceful and to have things done as quick as possible, you know, but it's like, unfortunately, it's at the cost of how we communicate on a daily basis, you know. It's like me and you, we just started following each other on Instagram, but like I don't know why it was like when I was like, oh my God, like how embarrassing, like I wasn't following him, you know. But it was like, why does my brain go to that? It's like, yo, this is just your like social media fucking thing, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's not,
we actually know each other.
Yeah, we actually know each other.
You don't have to follow.
Yeah, but there's a side of you, and I think it's the fucking brilliant design of these social media apps where you're kind of like, whoa, like, damn, like you can see people's Facebooks or Instagrams that you go to, and instead of follow, now it says follow back, and it's almost like, I'm a dick. This person follows me. Like shit, I gotta. It's designed really weird. And
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and what the purpose of this podcast is to do, in essence, is to eliminate all of that. To turn it into, look, man, like we live in a crazy world and it's fucking noisy out there. But we're going to turn down all that noise. I got some cool neon lights and shit. And we're just going to fucking sit down. I got the air conditioning on. You want some coffee? Let's fucking just talk. Let's talk. Let's figure it out. I don't want to figure out who you're with from your relationship status. Like, I don't want to like know about like, you know, hear about your story through pictures that you posted to everybody. Like, sit here and tell me what the food in Brazil tastes like. Tell me what it's like to be in a car accident.
Right.
Tell me how scary it is to run, you know, something in the rain. Like, and you can't get those. You're just like, and Instagram or Facebook will never be able to do that. They'll never, and it sounds cheesy, but they'll never be able to take that from us because that's a degree of our communication expression, dude.
Do you think I got close with doing that here on my Instagram? Because I try and do that. I try and post the things.
I wouldn't know. I just started following you.
Oh, okay.
See, and like, here's the thing: is like,
That's fine.
why do I feel like I missed out on your life? You know, like hearing you say that, like I want to be like, well, yeah, man. Like I've been going through your thing and looking, but it's like I just started following you, like, but I feel like I've done you wrong. But really, it's just
Oh, no.
but it's a weird phenomenon, right?
Isn't that
It's
weird?
just, it's
Yeah.
just we're being tuned into this, like, I don't know, this like
If you're not
fake
following
this
me,
fake
you're
sense
missing
of
out, and
this
you're not
fake
my
sense of
friend.
intimacy. But this intimacy like doesn't exist. The truth is like I'm almost glad I wasn't following you because like it's honest. I really don't know what the fuck you've been up to. And like I'm okay admitting that. I'm okay sitting here and being like, listen, dude, like I don't know what you've been up to, but I've missed you and I can't wait to hear all about it. Short of me sitting here and being like, yeah, man, like I went on that trip with you. I went on this with you. I went on and I wasn't really there, but I was there. You know, I saw your Facebook stories where it's like, where it's like, oh man, that's what Sao Paulo, Brazil looks like. Oh, that's what Mexico looks like.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
perspective from
yeah,
somebody else.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like nobody shows the shit like the tough shit. Nobody shows like oh man, I lost my wallet. Like down here, fucking Cabo San Lucas, what up?
Right,
Just
yeah.
got robbed.
Yeah.
It's never that. It's always this
I kind of
overglorified.
wish you had been following me earlier. I cried on my Instagram for a good like 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, on my story.
Really?
It was right after the ultra marathon. I
Really?
had just finished running 30 miles.
Oh man.
And I don't know what that had done to my nervous system, and I was in an emotional state. I was elated with joy because I was done, and I did really well. Really surprised myself. But yeah, I cried on my Instagram, and I wanted to show people like this is because I showed the journey from like my car
For
accident.
sure.
That's when my life shifted from the car accident to the recovery to the running. And
When was the car accident? What month?
last September.
Dude, you and I, our lives both kind of changed around the same fucking time.
Yeah, you
'Cause
said November.
well, before that, I relapsed. I call it relapsing, but I had a drink with my friend because I thought because he moved into a new house, I needed to drink tequila with him, and ended up. But I was sober before that.
Okay.
I gave up like 50 days before that. Like,
okay.
In a night. It was so dumb of me, but
Whatever.
yeah, but it's funny that you almost have the same story. Like, well, yours is obviously medically and much fucking crazier than mine, but our timelines aren't that different. It's like your
No.
life transformed last year around September.
Yeah, and then
And-
you had your sobriety from November. You said,
And then I ran to prove to myself that like this change was for the best.
we're on the same path. here.
I filmed myself finishing the finish line.
Nice.
Yeah, but that sounds like something that you had done.
Yeah, exactly. And so like I cried on to the people on Instagram, and there was the thought in my head and my own little voice saying like, what are people gonna think if you're crying? And like then I started thinking about the people that were following me. I'm like, oh, there's gonna be some people that are gonna be like, oh, what a little bitch.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I'm making this up too.
No,
But and then there's some people that are gonna be moved and inspired by this. And so as soon as I let that go, I mean, I was doing the story, crying and just talking about like my experience, and I don't know, it was great, and because I wanted to show the real shit, not just like look at how fit I am, look at how
Yeah.
much I ran, and no, because that's real. And so like
Yes.
as soon as I put that up, people like respond. So many people responded to me
positively.
positively like that in a way where they're like, dude, I remember doing my coach Ben. He rode from Catalina to LA, and he said he felt the same thing after. He was just so emotional.
Yeah.
Like, and another buddy, my trainer David, he was like, he's been in that sort of state after an ultra marathon,
Yeah.
with obstacles. And
Yeah.
so I guess it just happens. And
Yeah.
so like for me, I thought I didn't know that was normal. I thought it was my concussion.
Yeah.
Because I also got more in touch. I became more of an empath after this accident. I don't know, maybe I got more emotional.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy to.
Maybe you turned more human, dude.
I think so.
Yeah.
I started meditating more.
Yeah. So did I. Yeah. It's funny. It's funny how like in the terms of like in desperation, we all tend to act the same, like on impulse. Isn't
Yeah.
that strange that like when we're all desperate, we all turn towards like a venue of love, like acceptance, honesty, vulnerability, meditation. It's weird that human beings just naturally tend to gravitate towards this, like in a time of desperation, which for lack of better words, I don't know a better word to call it. Like
Could be.
me and you, opposite ends of the planet, haven't talked to each other in 10 years,
Doing the same things.
but just kind of acted the same.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of proving shit to ourselves and like picking ourselves up off the floor and like leaning towards and I'm sure you have too. I'm sure you've found connection, and I mean real connection, and this is a positive of social media, is there are people who take the time to write you, you know, and speak outside of the domain of emoji, where you become in contact with people whose maybe aligned or whose situations are aligned with those of the like of you. Like I'm sure that since your accident, you've met people and have talked to people, and probably more frequently, who have been through some sort of something, who have been rooting you on or cheering you on. I've made friends that are maybe not sober. I have sober friends too now, but friends that just kind of like, I don't know, you turn to find people along that same grind. Like people who are at the same grinding stone as you.
Yeah, you
know?
seem to find that other person that's in
Yeah.
the same
Or that
pain
group.
cave. as
Yeah,
you.
that group, pain cave. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So but I think again, so to bring in, I told you the point of the podcast, but there are some really great ways to utilize technology and social media, and I think checking in on friends, sharing, as long as you're sharing something that isn't negative, and negative doesn't have to be like, man, fuck this shit, but anything like that's front, or you endorsing things that are giving purpose to things that, like, on an influential, if you're in a position of influence and you're giving, things that don't matter to people, like, I think that can be used negative, but I think that social media can also be a positive change. I contacted you to come onto this show
because of social media.
Because of social media. I found you. I probably would have gone my whole life being like, man, I miss Romy. And that would have just been normal life without social media. So it does have its place. I just invite people.
You're so close, yet you were so far.
Yeah.
I thought you had moved.
No.
I thought you were gone.
No. Just right here.
Same spot.
Fucking doing this.
Yeah, just
doing this.
Different setup now.
Yeah. Way different setup. I don't know, man. I'm trying to find a reason. I'm so passionate about hearing stories like yours, and not only yours, but hers and theirs and whoever's, that I'm not involved with AA or NA or whatever.
Okay.
This is my like social grounds to hear people's stories.
I get that this is like a sort of therapy.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah. Well, it makes the world. I have a natural tendency. It makes the world not seem. Trying to organize my thoughts here. It makes the world bigger than just me, and that's a tendency I have, where I'm like so caught up on like how I feel about this and how I fucking, like when am I going to get this project done, and like shit, like I'm eating like shit and I haven't been in the gym in 4 days. Like, am I gaining weight? Like all this stupid shit that doesn't matter. And then it's like a good old fashioned, I was in a fucking car accident. I fucking was listening to my friend of mine fucking gasp for air. It's hearing stories like that where I'm like, yo, man, like, fuck the gym. Like, fuck my work.
Everybody
fuck
wants to make it about themselves.
Yeah.
And take shit personally.
Yeah.
People are like, it's me.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Do you find yourself taking things personally?
Like taking things personally, like relating them to myself,
Sure.
or taking things like
anything.
No, I think, well, when I hear these stories, the purpose is so that I can hear these stories. It is my almost my job to keep the conversation moving and elaborating on your story with maybe an experience that I have been through. But I really try to keep to the mission statement here. That is, we're all fucking people who go through different things from different walks of life. And it's important for me, and this goes for my sobriety, the things I like to do, the things I like to eat, like my eating pattern, not eating meat, that everybody is fucking different. And I need people to be different, or else we don't got a fucking show, ladies and gentlemen. So it doesn't fucking do me any good to make everything about me. You know, it's easier to just kind of like sit back and watch from afar, disconnected, emotionally engaged, but disconnected, disconnected. And I think meditation has helped me with that. Like,
what kind of meditation do you do?
I do cross-legged, fucking heavy breathing, and think about whatever I think about. I used to spend a lot of time fighting off my thoughts, and it would end up being 10 minutes of me frustrated trying to figure out why the fuck I can't meditate. Instead, I sit there and let just fucking my thoughts bombard me. I'm like fucking, I'm like a screen door, and it's just wind blowing through me. And I do that for 10 minutes.
Wow.
And then I realized that you can only be bombarded with your thoughts for about 7 minutes. And then there's about 5 honest minutes of like, after you've archived and have got everything settled out, you're really just kind of there on your couch. And I just take time to feel my toes and the ground beneath me and think about what the air feels like. And I just think, dude, like I just spend time with myself. That's what kind of meditation and if that makes sense, like, I don't know. I used to try, I may have ADD, and I used to spend a lot of time like fucking trying to figure out how to keep everything out of my head. But recently I've gone the screen door and the wind method, where I just kind of,
That's cool.
Yeah. How do you do it?
I take this course called Waking Up. It's by this guy named Sam Harris.
I know Sam Harris.
He's an amazing speaker.
Yeah.
He's so I don't know if you guys want to check it out. It's Sam Harris on the Apple Play or Google Play Store or Apple, whatever.
He's got a nice voice. That's Sam Harris.
Yeah, however you download the apps. But it's an application that I do, and it's a guided meditation. And there is a form that we kind of do called Metta. And it's not really based on Metta. I forgot the other form of meditation that he actually does, but it's just noticing, like how you said, like feeling your feet on the floor, the temperature of the air, noticing those thoughts, like eyes closed, like the back of your eyelids or the TV screen, and noticing whatever thoughts come into your head and noticing what happens to the thought after it disappears just as quickly as it comes.
Yeah.
And letting that thought unravel.
Yeah.
But not thinking about something specifically, because then at that point it's not meditation anymore.
Yeah.
Meditation for me is being completely aware and just noticing,
observing with no judgment.
Exactly.
Boom.
And so the noises of the creaks in the house, the cars passing by, maybe your stomach doing something, a movement, a crack in the chair, just as quickly as that arises in consciousness, what happens? Like to that sound, you have no control over it. And as soon as like I feel like once I step into that after like 5 minutes, like first it takes me a minute to settle, and once I get into that, it kind of feels like bullet time, like in the Matrix. All of a sudden I feel like I could hear the freaking car like making a left on Sepulveda. It's like my sense of awareness grows further than what this room is. And even though my eyes are closed, I still have a visual field of what's around me, even though you can't see. And so that's like prior to consciousness. And so whatever is arising in consciousness is real, and you have zero control of. And just letting that come and go. And it's kind of crazy. Once I enter that, it's like time moves slower. The 10 minutes it's a 10-minute meditation. I could do 20. I like 10. I don't know why. But yeah, as soon as that happens, the 10 minutes is up. All of a sudden it's done.
Yeah.
And so this guy, Sam Harris, he does a beautiful job at guiding you with his voice and telling you to, or just inviting you to maybe think differently of these thoughts coming into your head, and not paying attention to and dwelling on like whatever is arising.
Yeah.
So focusing on the breath again.
Yeah.
Feeling the crease in the jeans, and like you were saying, the temperature of the air. It's really cool. It's a 90-day course that you got to do in order from day 1 to day 90. After you graduate the day 90, then it becomes a daily meditation of whatever it is on the app that he provides. And if you miss the day, that's okay. It'll probably come around again, but
For sure.
you do the meditation every day. And what I've noticed is I become a more tolerable person to other people.
More patient.
And I started the meditation because I had a concussion, and I was like, my anxiety is through the roof, and I cannot stop thinking.
Yeah.
And so that helped. And now that that's gone, I'm like, it's more than just the concussion therapy.
For sure.
It's being able to be okay.
Yeah.
Be okay.
Yeah. No, I hear you loud and clear, brother. It's so weird. And it's a super Western thing that we don't take the time. We take so much time exercising our physique, but we don't take any time to exercise our mental.
Yeah.
Which is maybe even more than 50% of us, it makes us who we are. It's just as important, or even is more important too. And that's why, to bring it back, why I think that if like something on an everyday basis, like working a job you don't like, it's so important that you take the time to get your shit sorted out, because I mean, your mental, a job you don't like is like eating cake every day for your physical self. You know what I'm saying? It's terrible
Woof.
for you. It wears you away.
Yeah.
And it's something like when you get older, you realize how important it is, like what's worth the trade, doing something that makes you happy, or chasing, like, money is so weird. Like when you're younger, you like hear it, like money's the root of all evil, and you're like, okay, I get it. It makes people greedy, whatever. But you realize that once you fall into that rat race of being willing to do things that you wouldn't normally be okay doing, sitting in some fucking chair for 9 hours, being allowed to eat your lunch at a certain time.
Right. Once you're enrolled.
Yeah. It's and we do it for money. We do it for money. We do it to buy. I dropped out. I have an Android now. I dropped out of the iPhone race because I did.
Do you have a charger for the Android? USB-C? You do,
actually,
right?
I do, but it's in a duffel bag in the other room.
I know.
Sorry about that. But yes,
I have an Android too.
Yeah, I bailed out of the fucking rat race. I was like, I'm not doing this with you anymore, Steve Jobs. Like, I'm not fucking. No. Yeah, I'm not doing it, and that's why I built a PC, is because I can just fix anything that's like, oh, this is a RAM issue. I'll go replace the RAM.
Good boy.
Yeah, I'm not fucking doing that anymore. And like, it's easy to be like, I need the new iPhone. I need the new this.
Well, they make you buy the damn new iPhone.
Yeah,
because they put out malfunctioning software in their updates, and then they're like, oh, guess what? Your phone's shitty.
That's criminal.
But this one just came out.
Yeah.
Guess what? And you get a deal if you sign up for 2 years.
It's criminal. It's criminal. I bailed.
It is. That's a good way to put it.
I try to think, like, even my TV is like it's 4K, but I got it at Best Buy. It's like a $500 4K when there's like Samsung ones out.
Okay.
Everything I buy now is just like not a knockoff brand, but is the cheaper option, because I'm just not running that race anymore, man. It's just like my efforts are better placed elsewhere. I'd rather keep.
You're not enrolled in
the race,
in the rat race.
Yeah,
it's kind of like credit. It's if you want the big checking, not the checking account, but if you want that big number allowance, then you got to enroll into the credit game.
Yeah, it's super weird. And I have bought. I'm only like $1,000 in debt with my credit card.
That's nothing, man.
Yeah, that's nothing. But that's to make this. Like, I couldn't imagine, like, when I hear like people in debt, because like they bought like new clothes and shit. I'm like, what are you?
Oh,
I'm like, what are you?
Come on.
Like, what are you doing? Like, like $300 shoes and shit. I'm like, oh my god, brother. Like, look at the state of my fucking Vans, man. It's not bad. And it's not a testament. You're hilarious for saying that. These are pretty bad. And it's not a testament to me not enjoying nice things. It's just a testament to just finding importance elsewhere, man. Like, dude, buy the fucking 2 for $20 t-shirt. It's not the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? I stopped. I mean, these are two ends of the spectrum. Shave your head or grow it out. You don't got to get
Right.
the fucking. I'm sorry, Nikki Mayer. You don't got to get a haircut every week. You know, and I just there's ways you can live your life that's not frugal. It's just spent in better places. I'm so excited. I'm going to Spain and Morocco
When?
next month.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that's money well spent for me.
Absolutely,
Like that's what you should be spending dough on. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
experiences like that.
Knowledge.
Yeah, and
That's knowledge.
I'm
That's-
excited to go do this. I'm excited to go take this Andrew Olin over there, try to fucking have a conversation in broken English with somebody, figure out what they're from, and come back, use that knowledge that I've gained, bring it here, cut it into videos, pass that knowledge on. That's what this shit is all about to me, dude.
That's why I gave up a lot of the lifestyle that I was living to move into this van. And I sacrificed a lot. When I say sacrifice, it's very positive.
You were like glam DJ for a second.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
What
great.
happened? We didn't even talk about that.
No.
I thought you were like a fucking touring DJ that wore like leather hoodies and shit. What happened?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, right?
What happened?
I don't really like the club scene. I don't really like the club and the bar scene, and it was saturated with drugs and alcohol. And
Yeah.
at the end of the session or whatever it was, to other people it was a party. At the end of my expression of music, people didn't remember it. Some people did, and those were the followers and the fans of whatever I was producing and putting out, and people would respond to it.
Uh-huh.
But otherwise, it was just an opportunity for people to get fucked up. And
Yeah.
I didn't like it because I'm putting so much work into my sets and linking these songs together to tell a beautiful story from beginning to end. And
you're just making party jams
for
to
what?
somebody.
Yeah. People go home, wake up hungover. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I was on tour. I went to Mexico. That was amazing. Came back, played more bars here, and I felt like the more I played, the more opportunities I got. And then once it got to the certain point of noticing, I'm like, God damn, there's so much alcohol. Like, it was mind-boggling that I had to like try not to drink.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think it's a problem.
Yeah.
And
You found yourself drinking a lot?
yeah,
You're not
yes and no.
You're probably not very susceptible to that. You're probably just there to jam.
Yeah, see, but I did enjoy it because it was free. And for me, like, all of a sudden when I would go see DJs and I would be paying for alcohol, and then now being on the other side of it where it was given to me, I'm like, oh shit, well, it's free. I might as well drink it.
Yeah.
Like, that's terrible.
And the music was fun to be drunk to. Like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
Everything sounds great.
I mean, and that's the thing. That was the funnest part about sobriety for me, not to make it about me. You told me, do you take things personal? And I've made every single thing about me so far. Is figuring out that all of those things are fucking parts of you, man. The drum and bass, the how much you love music and stuff. That had nothing to do. You keep it up because the center of the micro. Yes,
There we go.
Like that. Those parts of you don't go anywhere. You don't need
Right.
alcohol to fucking enjoy produced house music. You don't you don't need alcohol to play these shows because that's part of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like I would imagine that in the club scene, it would seem like, no, dude, it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You need the alcohol and you need the house music, and that makes like the fun club nights.
Yeah.
Like I could see that. I could imagine that the general consensus was be like, well, we're listening to house music and we're not drinking. Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I feel like I connect with more people at festivals and just like house parties. I
Yeah.
love a good house party.
Yeah.
And love playing in a living room or in a kitchen.
Super fun.
And for me, playing at a festival, even though people are beyond themselves on drugs or alcohol, I feel like they take away a lot more because you show up to a festival open-minded, ready to receive any sort of music that you may or may not know. And that's the great thing about DJing electronic music is I'm about to play a bunch of shit that you may have never heard and you might like it.
Yeah.
And I like being on that end of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I stopped touring. I stopped going to shows and traveling for that and chasing that because it's shady as fuck, man. It's that club scene and event nightlife DJing scene is shady.
Shady.
It's really shady. People will will promise you things like money. I don't want to say fame, but like opportunity, and not pay you, not give you the things, get what they want, and then just kind of not talk to you again.
Grand Theft Auto.
Dude, they will steal everything from out under you. I don't know. Promoters.
Kenzie bailed on the Hollywood scene. She was a model. She was a model.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she used to model. And she works at advertisement job in Venice now. She said, fuck this. Same deal. Just fuck this.
Shady.
For some reason, up on that hill in northern Los Angeles, it's just people don't give a fuck about each other up there. It's weird. It's super weird.
Well, it's LA. You got to fucking make money to pay the ridiculous rent.
It's crazy. Or you can live in a fucking van, Romy.
Or you can live in a van.
Or you
like
can
I
live
am.
in a van. You can rent out 2 bedrooms in a house.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could. There's ways around it.
Yeah.
You know, you could figure it out, but it's a less glamorous path, but it's more spiritually sound.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Totally. And I gave up a lot of shit to have the van with less shit. I feel like I have more shit in the van now because it's just a smaller space.
Yeah.
My shit is
but you have more
right here now.
You have more value and shit. Like
things have multi-purpose.
Yeah. Well, we're speaking technically, but I mean like the things that you own now are the things that, well, I don't know. Nobody knows how you are living except for you, but I would imagine that the life that you live now is one much more of like, it has more substance to it.
It does feel like
you get
that.
more juice out of the fruit that you own.
It does feel like that.
Yeah.
And I get to get the fuck out of LA.
Whenever you want.
Whenever I want.
Yeah.
Except for the summer. I come here, I make a ton of money doing lifeguarding, and then I get the fuck out.
That's so sick.
I love it. And I didn't realize how much I hated LA until I left LA.
Yeah.
Because I grew up here. I mean, I moved here to the US when I was 5, and I'm pretty much an American.
Yeah.
Even though English was my second language. I used to have an accent when I spoke English.
Really?
Yeah. Spanish
how
was
long?
I don't know how long that accent lasted. I remember in like elementary
Oh, so you were a kid.
being made fun of because I had an accent, and then all of a sudden,
that.
like, I know, dude, talk about bullying. All of a sudden, I didn't want to speak Spanish. And I would go home and I would tell my mom, I'm like, no te entiendo. Like, I don't understand you. Don't talk to me in Spanish.
Really?
Because I wanna learn English. And I don't want to sound funny. And so like I would pretend I didn't understand, and now I have an accent when I speak Spanish. I sound like a gringo, and when I speak Spanish, people make fun of me because I sound like an American.
way.
It's so funny. And so,
If you could go back in time, would you have
no,
held on to your culture
no,
tighter?
no.
Oh.
I mean, because I'm in this place. I'm so happy with where I am right now. I would not go back in time and change anything. Who knows where I'd be?
Yeah.
Maybe I would have gotten in a different car accident. Maybe I would have been in a boat accident.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know that.
You know what I mean?
I get that.
I'm
that
here
thought
sitting in
process.
front of you.
Yeah.
Everything I did led me to here to share this story with you.
For sure.
I have a beautiful girlfriend. I have a lifestyle that I want to live. And
fucking brownie points swish right there.
and I'm about to travel, and I love it.
Yeah.
I'm an ocean lifeguard for LA County, and I'm saving lives. I'm making a difference. It's great. But would I go back in that sense and just tweak that to have it here? Yeah, I think the part of me I feel a little bit left out of my own culture, and I left that behind, not on purpose, but
it's got to be tough.
it kind of is.
I don't know what that feels like. I'll never know what that feels like, but I can't imagine what it's like coming to another country and having that a sense of like, no, we need to let this shit go because I need to blend in.
Oh,
that's got to be fucking crazy. Identity crisis, man.
kinda, yeah. And so like, yeah. So then I stopped speaking Spanish, and yeah, I don't know what I got out of it. Actually, I made a big mistake there because now I'm forgetting my Spanish.
Oh,
It
man.
sucks.
Yeah.
So I gotta like go back to Mexico, speak Spanish, and then it starts to come back.
Were you excited to tour Mexico because you felt like it would bring you back to maybe cultural roots?
Well, I guess, yeah. I mean, I got to I see my family too.
Oh,
and
so
my-
you
and my
have
friends.
family.
Yeah, my
in
dad
Mexico?
lives in Tulum.
Sure.
Older brother lives in Tulum.
Oh, so you got a lot of family over there.
Yeah, the only people that are here, my mom and my younger brother were the only ones that came here to the U.S.
Damn, dude.
My my dad, my brothers, my grandmother. She's in Mexico now. She has a house there, but she lives here in Redondo Beach. Not here, but
Yeah.
in Redondo Beach.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like to go back. One of my brothers still lives on the island of Cozumel, where I'm from, and I love to go back. And that's why I love to go tour. I almost like made it a point because I'm like, I want to go express myself where I came from.
For sure. I could see that being like high priority if I was a touring musician and coming here as an immigrant. I would have to be like, dude, I got to go back there and like, I don't know, offer myself to the country I left behind so long ago, like almost provide myself back to like where I'm from. Yeah, some weird like
show the people and my friends and family like, look what I learned.
Yeah,
you could fucking do anything here in the U.S.
Yeah,
it's crazy. You could drive big ass cars,
people
hit each
don't
other.
Get that. People don't get that. People who like fucking like spend a lot of time talking, and there are things tremendously wrong with the way this country's run. However, people don't understand the quality of freedom our freedom is compared to some places. Like the fact that you can just go enroll in school, you know, and get money for it, and go leave and go get a job and go work somewhere where it's like, hey man, you owe me this amount of money legally if I'm gonna fucking work here. Like minimum wage is
a joke.
Is a crazy concept if you think about it.
It's a joke, dude.
Like, yo, no. Like
minimum.
I don't work for 11. I work for this amount of money, and you're gonna pay it to me, or I'm shutting this shit down, no matter what. And it's a privilege, man. It's a privilege to have that because there are places in the country, and again, there are things with this country that could be fucking changed yesterday. There's some tremendously, and I understand that some of them are systematic. Some of them are just like compound issues. But there are a lot of things about this country that we get away with and take advantage of on a daily basis that don't exist in other places on the world.
That's true. That's true. I mean, you look around, you see people on the corner shaking a sign, and they're making a living doing that.
Yeah.
You can't do that anywhere else.
No, fuck no.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
People run blogs, people run podcasts and make money off of it.
Yeah.
You could do anything here, and it's called the hustle, and that's what LA is, and that's why I think people like it here.
The hustle.
Yeah, you could do a bunch of shit and also do nothing at all, but still make a living.
Yeah, but you know, at what cost, man? Like people are forgetting how to treat each other. You know, there's not. You know, it's. I mean, I'm from here. I couldn't imagine like people. You hear the stories about people leaving their small hometown in the Midwest to come here. Oh, is that you? Ugh. And then coming here and being like, dude, I'm going to be in LA and it's going to be fucking Animaniacs are going to pop out of the fucking WB Water Tower. And then we're all going out. And then I'm fucking walking the red carpet and it's going to be good. And then you get here and you're like, dude, why is everybody fucked up to each other?
Well, because you go to work. First you sit in the fucking traffic. It takes 2 hours to get there.
That's the first thing you do in your day, by the way.
Yeah. How are you supposed to be happy sitting in traffic?
Yo,
and then you get to the shitty job that you went to school for, maybe.
Yeah. That was my first design job, was in downtown LA.
Oh my god.
Oh, my first job, and I started work every day at 9:30 in the morning.
Oh, woof.
I had to leave in order to get there by 9:30. I had to leave here by 7:45.
Oh my gosh.
And that was just...
That's like 20 miles.
And I was just doing the fucking thing, dude. I was smoking my fucking pipe my weed pipe on the way to fucking work because it was the only thing that made it tolerable. You know, it was fucking crazy. But yeah, dude, starting your day off first thing with that, and then when you get off, it's like, I don't want to drive.
Then you got to sit in the same damn traffic on the way back, and then you get home.
Happy hour.
Drown your sorrows.
Yeah.
And then you spend all your money, and then you look at your bank account. You're like, I got to pay rent, and I got to pay this, I got to pay that. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, good. I got to wake up and do it all over again.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course people are upset here. It's fucking expensive here.
So what do you do to fix that, man?
You move into a goddamn van.
You move into a goddamn Dodge Sprinter van.
Yeah.
You run fucking hills.
Yeah. You run mountains and you get outside.
Yes.
Just get out of the rat race that it's so easy to get enrolled in.
Yes, you deny it. You go, there's options out there. The world will make you feel and I wonder if we're getting better at it. But and I think it's getting easier as you get into your late 30s. But God, my heart goes out to all teenagers growing up right now, where every fucking Christmas it's got to be a new phone. Oh
Jesus.
my God, fuck,
That's so
fuck.
sad. That's sad.
Sad for the parents. Like, fuck the kids. These fucking parents, or like single moms and shit.
Are you gonna have kids?
Yeah, dude. I would love. Kenzie's gonna make a terrific mother. And I feel like I'm one of the reasons why that's one of my motivations for learning all the things I am. And this is down the road. I just started living my life. Like, as of November 17th, I've started living my own life.
Welcome.
But I would love to, raise a kid on the values that I've discovered that he doesn't need to go through himself, but he will, and that's like the parent son thing. He's just, my dad won't give me an iPhone. I got this tin can with a string, guys. I can't fucking kick it. Yeah, it's gonna be a nightmare. But honestly, when I think about being a parent, the world seems kind of fucking scary to put a kid in right now. It's like,
at least here. I mean, there's 100 places to raise a kid.
Yeah, for sure.
There's
But
100,000.
But right now, this is where my battle is fought,
Sure.
and I love my home, and I need to be in my home right now so I can get these stories documented, and maybe at the end of all this, when like I feel like the podcast has served its purpose, and I'm able to work on my freelance design, I make like a little fucking van set up myself, that I'm just on the road just parking in front of Starbucks, using their Wi-Fi, working in a van and dipping. But I'm a homebody, man. Like, this is,
it looks like it.
This is my shell, dude.
Yeah, this is amazing.
This is where I spend all my time, and this is full circle to what I've always loved. I've always loved having my friends over. I've always loved being a host and stuff. And a story I fucking tell is, when I was younger, when I was in second grade, I went home from school, and I made all of my friends in our friend group Wolfpack ID cards, and there was chicks. Yes, but it was embarrassing because I brought them the next day, and everybody was like, "What the fuck is this? You're a sweetheart." But this is like second graders bringing a fucking folded piece of printer paper to school, being
You're
like,
ahead of your time.
Here's your identification card. But what was important is that thought process.
Wow.
And me being a host and stuff, I melded all those things together, and this is just a fucking Wolfpack idea. This is just a Wolfpack idea where I get to be a host and use my design. It's like everything melded together to make this what it is, and it's because of this I get to spend time with you and meet your girlfriend and spend time with bands and shit. I have another microphone so I can have bands on.
That's
or like
sweet.
Owners of companies that want to come and talk about their product or whatever. So yeah, we're just gonna keep fucking doing this. And
you're a very thoughtful person. Your vocabulary has changed too.
Yeah,
ever from those Art Institute days, you definitely
was gnarly and sick.
Well, no, not in that way, but even I don't know how to explain it. Like,
I've made the effort to be more articulate.
Not even that. Like you're just the way you speak about yourself. You seem healthier in the mind.
Thank you.
And I could hear it.
I appreciate you saying that.
It's instead of songs written in minor, how it sounds somber. It sounds like all of a sudden your language is written in major chords. It's uplifting.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I am on. I feel like driving in the streets, and now I'm in a plane flying over everything. It's like I've transcended, and it sounds like you've done that with your van and be like, no, fuck this. I'm going to go fucking be a lifeguard because I love being a lifeguard. And then once I'm done with that, I'm fucking out of here. It's like you let go of, it's almost like what they say about when you die is like you let go of all the things that make your life bad. You let go of the body that keeps you sick, the bills that keep you grounded, you let go of all that. And then all of a sudden you're just the self. And you don't feel sick anymore. You don't feel the bills. You don't feel that those things still exist in my world. But there were so many other variables that kept me from being the person that I've wanted to be. And I've been at war with myself for as long as I can remember. And I'm finally in a ceasefire. And yeah, when people are like, yeah, man, like, are you sure that you want to be sober? Are you sure you want to do this? It's more than just the sobriety thing. It's me trading in the ceasefire. And like, my goal now is to not only better understand what we're doing here as best as I can, but to provide as much love and support for the people around me. And I think that's it, man. I think at the end of the day, I think that I'm really just trying to spread the message of love in a world that can seem so conflicted right now.
Do you know the difference between trying and doing?
Like, by definition, I mean, I could figure it out. I could speculate, but I mean, not off the top of my dome.
Because from when I met you to now, it's totally seems like that you're doing the things. Like, you are the person, you're doing the things, and you have what you want here. But you said you were trying to do something. You used the word trying.
Yeah.
And it made me think of something. So, for example, okay, show me with the I guess the cup that's in your reach.
Yeah.
Show me what trying to grab the cup looks like. That's grabbing. No. Show me what trying looks like.
I don't know I don't know.
You're doing it. That's trying.
Yeah. But I'm not really trying, because if I wanted to grab trying is
not doing.
Trying is nothing. Trying is just kind of like this like, the car's in neutral, and like, when really it's just parked with the engine on. Like, there's either doing or there's not doing.
Exactly.
And I'm no longer not
So
doing.
try again.
Well, I don't want to try anymore. I just want to grab the cup.
Grab the cup. That's doing.
Yes, exactly. I see what you're doing. That was actually very
You're
wise.
doing the things now, and
yes.
you have this amazing like setup, and you have this amazing podcast.
For sure.
And before it, it's like you're showing up to me transformed. I'm totally inspired and enrolled in your life, and I'm so glad that we've come back together.
Oh, this is the beginning of something beautiful, man. We're gonna run hills. We're gonna
exactly.
I have, in my attempt to try to find who I am, who I was. I have camping. I have a backpack. I have a tent. I have a fucking jet boil. Like, I have
jet boil too. Those are amazing.
Yeah, I have things. Let's camp, dude.
Dude, well, there's room.
Let's go spend time outside.
In the back of my van, under the bed.
Down.
You throw your shit in there.
Down.
With your tent.
Down.
I got my bed in there. When we pull up to our spot to go rock climb, maybe Joshua Tree.
Mm-hmm. I've never been.
You pull out your tent, set it up next to the van. That's how we camp.
Good to go.
We got the two apartments. You got your living quarters. I got my living quarters.
I love it.
In the morning, we'll get outside. We'll climb. Maybe run a hill. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Yeah. Dude, Robbie, I usually only do 2 hours, and we're 2 hours 7 minutes right now.
Oh shoot!
That's
okay.
it. That's it.
That's it, man.
That's a fucking wrap.
Thank you.
But the great news is like, this wisdom is obviously so much. I mean, it sounds like me and you could talk forever and ever and ever. So as your life develops and you're achieving your personal goals, let's get you back on, and let's get it set up where both of you guys can talk about your guys' adventures. And
we got some big plans to go to Portugal to run an ultra. So I think
when's that?
Another turn next year.
Okay.
And so I think after she moves into the van, we run this ultra. We travel around in the van a little bit. I think we'll have a lot to talk about, like living together in such close quarters.
Yeah, that'll be crazy. Or let's get before you guys go, we'll get the fucking
the before.
The before and the after.
See how happy we are before and see how unhappy we are after.
Yeah, and I'll play them next and I'll play them next to each other.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And then do an Instagram poll of like who
how
hot or not.
Right hot or not. And how tired do I look?
All right, let's give you your shout outs, dude. This is Romy Ancona. Check out his Instagram at Romy Ancona or Panther Music.
Yeah, Panther Music.
Yeah, that's his actual. That's where he actually is making jams.
Yeah, that's where I'm putting up music that I produce.
That's where he puts up music he produces, and he's got this fucking awesome mix on SoundCloud.com/RME Romy August podcast, and 28 minutes into it is my fucking.
That's your favorite.
Yeah, that's my newly.
That's your favorite.
Song.
Well, tell him the song.
But it's fun. It's
Chimera.
Yeah, it is Chimera. Hold on, I have it right here. It is. Chimera by Tim Englehart.
Yeah, dude, he's an amazing producer.
I fucking love it. What kind of music is that? Like just
Some
is it
people
like deep house or what is it?
Somebody described it to me because I play this type of music. They say I play progressive trance.
Progressive trance.
So that's
I
guess that's what I play.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's not house, not techno. It's not. I don't know what it is, but for me, it's progressive trance. I guess that makes the most sense.
Knuckle bump that right now.
Hell yeah, brother.
I fucking love you, man.
I love you too,
How
man.
much fun. Hey, thanks for tagging along with this. This is cool. Next time we'll get you into a microphone. Peace. That's it, dude.
Woo!